Yes Bank's follow on public offer is here. Should we be excited? Let's find out. First, let me give you a brief background. Yes Bank was a privately managed bank. Yes Bank was into retail banking for a long time and was considered as the fifth largest private lender. In 2018, you may recall that Reserve Bank of India raised issues of corporate governance and serious lapses in the functioning of Yes Bank. It raised questions about the lending practices which were adopted by Yes Bank. In September 2018, RBI asked Yes Bank to end the tenure of its promoter director Rana Kapoor. Yes Bank wanted to continue him for another 3 years, but RBI refused and declined the request. So fast forward to 2 years. Now we have this FPO. Let us understand what has happened in between. The founder and his family is facing charges for accepting kickbacks for granting faulty loans. The founder and his family are also facing charges for rerouting the monies and buying huge properties for themselves. ED has recently attached assets of 1200 crores of the founders. It seems that Yes Bank, which was having 90% shareholding with public, was in fact managed like a private entity for the benefit of its founders. It is found that promoters were accumulating wealth and they were buying expensive properties by giving loans against kickbacks. And as promoters' wealth has soared, the public wealth has in fact eroded. Public shareholders have taken a massive hit. Even when the promoters stepped down, it is observed that between June to December 2019, the promoters have diluted their shareholding from 20% to 8%. So it was only when the results of December 2019 quarter were out that the market, the rest of the people came to know what was the extent of the losses, what was the extent of the bad financial health of Yes Bank. Here it is revealed that magnitude of loss for 1 year was equivalent to the profit of last 9 years. Thus, the question before the central government. Now, how to get Yes Bank out of this crisis? How to bail out Yes Bank? Friends, on Friday the 13th, a circular was issued by the central government approving Yes Bank's reconstruction scheme. The impact of this was that old shareholders cannot sell their shares for a period of 3 years, and the customers cannot withdraw more than 50,000 rupees from their account for a period of 1 month. So, old shareholders as well as depositors have taken a hit. On the other hand, these banks were given shares at a price of 10 rupees each. This offer has not been shared with the public shareholders. So, please understand that you have purchased share, say of Yes Bank a year ago at 400 rupees. Today the share is trading at a value of 20 rupees. So you have suffered a direct loss of 380 rupees per share. Whereas these banks have brought shares of 20 rupees, which are trading at 20 rupees for 10 rupees. So they are already at a profit of 10 rupees per share. Now this offer has not been made available to the public at all. Now I will take example of what Federal Bank has done. So Federal Bank infused 300 crores at 10 rupees per share. So in total, they have purchased 30 crore shares. Within 14 days, they have sold 5 crore out of this 30 crore shares. So just check the price chart at that time from 13th March to 22nd March. Price is fluctuated between 25 to 60. So let's take it that Federal Bank has sold 5 crore shares at an average of 45 rupees per share. So although the shares have reached up to 60 rupees till 18th of March, but for the sake of example, let's take it that it is 45. So 5 crore shares sold at 45 rupees each, 264 crores against the initial investment of 300 crores just a week ago. But wait, don't forget that this money is by selling only 19% of the shares which are held by Federal Bank. They are free to sell 6% at any time. Even after that, they have 75% shares which they can sell after 3 years. So this is interesting, isn't it? So like this, like Federal Bank, Kotak Bank, IDBI Bank have also sold a part of their shares, bagging a hefty sum in a short time. Now I hope you understand this example. With this, let us proceed to the question, why this FPO? So consider this as a two-step bailout offer by the government for Yes Bank. First is the infusion of funds by banks. This has already been done. We have seen from the example of Federal Bank that 300 crores were infused on the 13th, and assume that around 260 crores were earned by them within 14 days by selling a fraction of their shareholding, and they still have a buffer of 82% of their shareholding to recover the balance 40 crore that they have invested. Second step of the bailout process is the FPO. So let us see whether you will benefit out of this. So in FPO, money is generally raised for two reasons. One, for expansion, and other for bailing out a company which is in problem, like Yes Bank. So if you purchase shares in this FPO, what are you investing on? A company which is facing heavy losses, a company whose management has already defrauded public shareholders, a company whose basically loan assets are of questionable value. And these assets, which are of questionable value because you don't know whether these loans will be recovered, this is being shared between increasing number of shareholders. Earlier, the number of shares were 255 crores. Now, the number of shareholders are 1255 crores. Naturally, the value per share has gone down. So, if further shares are issued by way of this FPO, what will be the impact? You can assess for yourself. So, friends, here I end this video with a food for thought. If you still think that this FPO is to raise fund for expansion of Yes Bank, and if you feel that your investments will be doubled very soon, I would like to have your perspective. Do share your thoughts in the comment section.